Good morning, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Sukihoto. I think before we start the program, let's do our puja, and I'm going to share screen. Okay, everyone, let's sit comfortably. Fold your palms in Anjali, and please mute your mic. And let's start by paying homage to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Now, let's take refuge in the Triple Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami. Now let's take the 5%. Panatipata veramani sikapadang samadhiyami. Adinadana veramani sikapadang samadhiyami. Kamesu miccachara veramani sikapadang samadhiyami. Musawada veramani sikapadang samadhiyami. Surameraya majapapatana veramani sikapadang samadhiyami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Well, maybe like to continue. So we are happy that everyone is here, and I can see that everyone is keen to learn the sutta, especially the Dhamma Cakka Pavattana Sutta. So today is the 16th of April, and this is our second class. So already there are 4 classes. So today is the second class, and we'll continue for the coming 2 Saturday. And I'm also pleased to say that, you know, in the first class we have done very well, and Saleh was very happy with all the answers because you did pay attention. So we require you to also put in the same effort and pay attention to today's class. As usual, we're going to play the what we call the video of Saleh's teaching on part 2 of the Dhamma Cakka Pavattana Sutta. Right, and of course we then will go into breakout rooms whereby a facilitator will facilitate the discussion. So there we have prepared some questions for the class, for your breakout room class, to discuss about today's lessons and what was been taught by Sai. Then later on, then we'll come back to the main hall, to the main room where everybody comes together. This is where then Saleh will appear in the class, and you can share. I'll be calling some of you to come up to share your thoughts of what you have learned today. And Saleh will then hear what you have to say, and if there's anything that is wrong, she will correct us. This is what our teachers are here for. She will correct us, and if necessary, then she will then expound the Dhamma further, so that we get more in-depth understanding of what we're supposed to learn today. Then, as usual, we will then send you some quiz. I also like to say that in the last class, the quiz was very well done, so I will share with you. But before I want to go into the sharing of the quiz, I like to make an announcement that the Appamada Vihari Meditation Center, that's AVMC. We are doing a moment-to-moment practice, and this is organized by friends from very far, from Canada and also from Australia. So this is a good thing about technology, So we have people from around the world helping us, to organize an event like this. So this event is called Moment to Moment. I think some of you may have already taken this course, but if you are not taken, so I encourage you to take. This is based on a book, also by the same title, Moment to Moment, written by Sayalay herself. This is in this book. She talks about radical. Radical is a combination of mindfulness, wise attention, and insight knowledge, and it's applicable in both formal meditation and also our daily life. Yeah. So if you want to know about this kind of meditation, I will encourage you to sign up. So we are going to share you in the Google Classroom as well as the WhatsApp the link where you can register for yourself. So at the moment we have only 12 spots left, only 12 spots left. Normally our class is about 25 people, so we encourage you to quickly sign in, because we take on the first come first basis. So the first session will start on the 1st of May, and as you can see, I've written there 1st May, 15 May, 29 May, and 12th of June, right? So that is I think it's if I'm not mistaken, it's a 1 hour session, 2 hour session, sorry. It's a 2 hour session. You're supposed to sit and then meditate and discuss as well, like what we are doing now. The breakout room to do discussion. Okay, so now let's go to the result of the quiz. So I want to say that the result is very impressive. 103 has responded. And as you can see, we have got 15 questions. Each question has 1 point, and we get many of you scoring more than 6. So this is really impressive. And I must say that you guys are really getting the grasp of it. So eventually, by end of the 4th classes, you are all learned. Because the Dhamma Cakka Pavattana is the first sutta after the Buddha has enlightened under the Bodhi tree, and he actually how to say, set the wheel of the Dhamma in motion by reviewing what he knows. So there's a 4 noble truths, the Eightfold Noble Path, and also the 12th link of the dependent origination. So this is very important for you to pay attention and to learn, right? So I think I will unshare, right? Let me see. These are some of the this question for our discussion today, which the facilitator will discuss in. So it's not for me to share now, right? So if everyone is ready, then I will play the video. So please watch the video with your full attention. All right. So let me share the video. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I want to play the video for you. Yeah. Okay, I will share the video now. Wait, I want to share with the volume. The last time I forgot to share with volume sound. Okay. Can you?
Okay, today I would like to continue the Dhamma Cakka Pavattana Sutta. And I would like to repeat a little bit what I have said yesterday. So yesterday we have talked about Dukkha Ariya Satya, the noble truth of suffering, right? And we have explained from the birth is suffering until the last one, clinging to five aggregate is also dukkha. So now we would like to ask ourselves a question. Why are the five aggregates called aggregates of clinging? Panju Padana Khanda Dukkha. So this Khanda means aggregates. We say Upadana Khanda, the aggregates of clinging. So why? Why are the five aggregates called aggregates of clinging? And in what ways do sentient beings cling to five aggregates? This is a very important question that we need investigation and analysis. Okay, so first, we sentient beings cling to five aggregates through three ways. The first one, we cling to five aggregates by way of Tanha. Tanha means craving, hungry or thirst. They call Tanha. So how we cling to five aggregates by way of Tanha? We cling to five aggregates as mine, belong to me, my property, my body, right? My feeling, my anger, my delusion, my jealousy, my mindfulness, my mind. So we cling to this five aggregate by way of craving and say five aggregates belong to me. Okay, so this first type of clinging. We also clinging to five aggregates by way of mana. Mana means conceit. So we cling to the five aggregates as I by way of conceit. I am superior than you. My body is stronger than you. My wisdom is sharper than you. My perception is clearer than you. My karma is more superior than you. You see, we compare the five aggregates with others and cling to our own five aggregates with conceit. Okay. The third way, we also cling to the five aggregates as an permanent self or eternal soul by way of identity view, Sakkaya Ditti. So by way of Sakkaya Ditti, wrong view of self, then we cling to the five aggregate. We identify body as myself, right? We identify feeling as myself. We identify different state of mind or emotions as myself. And we identify our way of thinking as myself. So if we cling to five aggregates by way of DT, identity view, then when this five aggregate change, then we suffer accordingly. Because we already identify body as myself. So when body becomes sick or we suddenly got the cancer, then through the clinging to the body as myself, then we cannot, and then we feel sorrowful, lamentation, grief, despair. But if you do not identify body as yourself, when body change, when sickness comes or any accident comes, then you can take it easy because you do not identify body as yourself. Therefore, by this 3 ways of clinging to 5 aggregates as mine, belonging to me, as I, with comparison with others, as myself, with identity view, then we cannot escape from suffering. There's no way we can escape from suffering if we cling to the 5 aggregates in these ways. Okay? This is the reason why the aggregates become the object of clinging. Okay. Now we have finished the noble truth of suffering. So you got to understand the content of noble truth of suffering. From birth is dukkha until the last one, the 5 aggregates of clinging is dukkha. Please remember that. Without remember that, you cannot gain knowledge. Okay, now we go to the second noble truth. As we said, birth or having 5 aggregates of clinging is dukkha. Then we also, as a practitioner, we also need to investigate what is the origin of this dukkha. What caused dukkha to arise? Nothing can arise without causes. This is the teaching of the Buddha, right? So we got to investigate why this suffering comes, why birth comes, why aging comes, why 5 aggregates appear in the world. So by investigating the 5 aggregates, by investigating the arising of birth, then we finally come to understand it is the craving, they call Tanha, that give rise to fresh rebirth, accompanied by passion and delight, relishing now, here, now, there, everywhere. So, therefore, craving, Tanha, is called the noble truth of the origin of suffering. Just like Buddha say, "Oh, you are sick." You go and see doctor, say, "I'm sick." And then the doctor check you and find out the reason why you are sick. And the Buddha give medicine to cure your sickness. So the reason is very important. The reason for you to sick, for you to fall sick is very important. Similarly, the reason, the cause, the origin for us to know why the suffering arise is very important. Once you know the origin, once you know the reason, then you can tackle the cause, then the effect will disappear. When you tackle the cause, remove the cause, then the effect of suffering will also disappear in the world. Then you don't suffer anymore. Okay, therefore, it's very important to understand the second noble truth, the origin of suffering. And Buddha declared in the Dhamma Cakka Pavattana Sutta, Buddha said, the craving, Tanha, that give rise to fresh rebirth. Because when there is rebirth, there is aging, there is birth. When there's rebirth, then birth is suffering. Start from very moment the birth arises, then followed by aging, sickness, and death. Then lamentation, sorrow, cannot get what you want, separation from beloved one, and finally the 5 aggregates of clinging. Thereby, everything come from, all this suffering come from rebirth, come from having born to this world. And when you come, Buddha say, when you come to this world, then the existence, coming into existence is accompanied by passion and delight. You don't come to this world with this passion. or not delighting in the world. No. All sentient beings come to this world accompanied by passion and delight. Relishing now, whether you're reborn in a human world or animal world or hungry ghost, the world of hungry ghost, and you feel happy, happy now, here, now, there, everywhere, not only limited to human world, including Deva world, which full of sensual pleasures, human world, angry, hungry ghost, and also the hell beings. This is, so wherever you reborn, we think that the beings in the four woeful states are full of suffering. But when we reborn as a dog, we also enjoy the life of dog. You see the dog also barking, playing here and there. They are not crying all the time, right? So they also enjoy the life as animal, although we see them as suffering. So this is the nature of craving. The craving is very sticky. Wherever you reborn, the craving will attach to that realm of existence, whether it's suffering existence or happy existence. So therefore Buddha say, this rebirth is accompanied by passion and delight, and relishing now, here, now, there, everywhere, whether it's happy destination or unhappy destination. Therefore, we translate this Tanha. You better remember this Pali word. Tanha is hungry, thirsty, thirst. When you are hungry, you want to eat something. You don't care whether the food is good or bad, right? You just want to fill your stomach. Therefore, when you are hungry or thirsty, you just want to take action. You just crave for something to eat, to drink. So whether even the drink is full of poison, but you don't think of it. You just want to ease your hunger, want to ease your thirst. This is called craving. We translate tanha as craving, hungry, hunger, or thirst. Then Buddha say, there are also three types of tanha. Buddha continued to teach. There are three types of tanha that cause rebirth. Now we are talking rebirth because we say birth is suffering. Aging, suffering, clinging to five aggregate is dukkha. So what's the origin? Craving. Crave is the craving that causes fresh rebirth. When there's rebirth, all suffering comes, follow after rebirth. So how many type of craving, how many type of tanha that cause rebirth? Buddha continued to explain. There are three types of tanha, craving. Number one is called craving for sensual pleasure. We call kama tanha. Kama means sensual. Tanha means craving. So craving for sensual pleasures. We as human being and Deva, and also four woeful states. Especially human being and Deva. We live in this sensual world, right? We call Kama Loka. We live in the sensual world. There are three types of world. Sensual world, material world, and immaterial world, right? We live in sensual world. Therefore, it's very natural for us to crave for sensual pleasure. When we talk about sensual pleasures, we have to remember how we enjoy sensual pleasures. It's true 6 bases, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Through 6 bases, we enjoy the 6 sense objects, which is visible form, sound, smell, taste, tangible object, and mental object. So our eyes are always hungry for a sight. Our ear are always hungry for sweet voice or opposite voice. Our tongue is always hungry for delicious taste. And our body is always hungry, crave for tangible touch. And our mind, even worse, can go wild, can go crazy for thinking this and that, and thinking whatever that satisfies you. Therefore, our 6 sense bases are always hungry for something. When you're hungry for something, you will chase after the object you are hungry for, right? So when you chase after the object you are hungry for, then once you get it, then you start to enjoy. And this is called craving for sensual pleasure. And you enjoy sensual pleasure with tanha, with craving, with hunger, with thirst. And this is called karma already. Whatever karma that is accompanied by craving, by tanha, it will leave behind karmic force. And when this karmic force ripen or mature, it will produce new rebirth. When it produces new rebirth in the human world, then you also, through the past experience of enjoying sensual pleasures, now the new rebirth also crave for sensual pleasure again, because it's a past tendency that handed down to the new generation, and this person also have strong craving for the sensual pleasures, because this is what he lived in his past life, right? Therefore, there's endless. If we allow us to crave for sensual pleasures life after life, then there's no hope for escaping from the craving. When there's no escaping from craving, there's no end of dukkha. Okay. Number 2, craving for becoming, or we call bhava tanha. Craving for becoming also we translate as craving for existence or craving for life, bhava tanha. You know, all sentient beings fear of death. Why? Why we fear of death? In fact, fear of death is a sign of craving for life, right? Because you want to continue to live, you don't want to die. This is a sign of craving for becoming, craving for existence, and craving for life. And during dying moment, when life come to end, during the dying moment, except for Arahant, everybody, one of the three signs will appear in the dying moment's vision. It can be sign of karma, what karma he had done in the past, a sign of destination, where he's going to reborn, called sign of destination. Then sign of karma itself. First sign of karma, sign of destination, and karma itself. Sign of karma is the instrument a person use. For example, this person always do dana. So during dying moment, he may see the food he offered. So this is called sign of karma. But if he see himself doing the karma, like he see the movie, then it's called karma. But if he see the Deva realm, because of offering food to the monastics, then during dying moment, he see the Deva mansion, Deva environment. then it is called sign of destination. So this sign, let's say, he see the food he offered, sign of karma. So this karma, this sign arises in a dying moment, vision, dying in the person who is going to die, appear as a vision, and this sign is produced by karma, by his own karma. Therefore, we cannot see. Only he can see because it's his own karma. Okay, then and this karma supported by craving, because when he do dana the time, he has desire to get the merit, merit to be reborn in a good family, merit to reborn in Deva realm, and merit to become rich, and so on. So this is also craving, right? You desire for merit is also craving, but it's a wholesome craving. Okay, so this craving support the karma, they make the sign to appear. And the craving will push this person. And this person, during dying moment, when he see the sign, his mind will grasp the sign very strongly. Why? Because he did not want to die. He doesn't want to die. Therefore, his mind will grasp the sign very firmly. And being pushed by the craving for assistance, craving for becoming, and the new rebirth will appear in another world, either in human world or in Deva world. Let's say in human world, okay? In then he discussed his old body. Then the consciousness will continue to flow. Then he reached the consciousness, reached the new world of human. Okay. Then a rebirth takes place. When the consciousness reach to the new world, then we call rebirth, and rebirth takes place. Okay. Now I have a question to ask you. So this new, the old person die and new person takes rebirth. So is the same self transmigrate to another world? For most people, they will think that I die already, then I appear in a new world. So it's the same self transmigrate from the past life to the present life. Most people would think that way, right? Therefore, craving for becoming or craving for assistance is corresponding to eternality view. Eternality view says that because it's a view, right? Therefore, it's a belief that the same self transmigrate from one world, one assistant to another assistant. This is called craving for becoming or craving for assistance. Okay, now my question for you, is it really the same self transmigrate from one world to another world? If you think in that way, then you have the wrong view of Ucheta Ditti or eternality view. But you may counter question me, okay? If it's not the same self, how can we remember the past experiences? Some boy, some young children, they can remember their past life, right? Past life, my father named Mr. What. Past life, I was reborn in which village. So if it's not the same self, how can we remember the past experiences? This is the function of perception. We have learned the 5 aggregates, right? The perception, what we experienced in the past. the perception makes a record down. The perception has the quality of, label something so that he can recognize again in the future, right? This is the meaning of perception, sanya. So the perception done the work. He record what he has experienced and put the imprint along the life continuum. The experience leave the imprint along the life continuum. And this is the work of perception. Perception do the labeling and do the recognition and do the memory also. But because we didn't understand, so we think, oh, it's the same cell that transmigrates from past to the present. Therefore, most Buddhists have the wrong view of eternity view. In fact, life, what is life? Life is like a continuously flowing river. The flowing water in the back pushes the flowing water in the front. But they are not the same, right? The water at the back is different from the water in the front. If you say they are the same, then it is completely eternity. So this new sentient being, the newborn, new rebirth, the baby from the rebirth, this new sentient being is neither identical nor different. If you say this newborn baby is completely different from the past, this is another wrong view, even worse. This is called this is called Ucheta Ditti. Sorry, just now eternity view is called Sasata Ditti. Now it's called annihilation view, because you say the newborn baby is completely different from the past. This is called annihilation view, Ucheta Ditti. So this is also not correct. But if you say they are identical, then you fall into eternity view. If you say they are completely different, then you fall into annihilation view. So how should we say? Neither the same nor otherness. This is the middle path. Neither the same nor otherness. Neither the old one who is dead nor the new one who is reborn. So life is a continuous flow of stream. If you can understand the flow of the river, you should be able to understand the flow of life stream. Okay? This is a bit profound and difficult, but I think it's necessary for me to explain to you to get right view. Okay, so we have come to understand the craving for becoming and craving for non-existent or craving for assistance. Now we come to the third type of craving for non-becoming or non-existent. Vibhava Tanha. Vibhava Tanha says that it's also a company corresponding to annihilation view. Vibhava Tanha, craving for non-becoming, is corresponding to annihilation view. And this view says that after death, nothing remains. Everything gone already. So such view is very welcome by those who have done a lot of evil, who have done a lot of akusala karma. Because after that, I don't have to pay. I don't have to pay my karma. I don't have to reap the result of bad karma I have done, right? So this view is very welcome by those who are not afraid of evil. But we Buddhists definitely reject this view because we believe in karma. When we believe in karma, we believe in result, right? But for those who crave for non-becoming, which is accompanied by annihilation view, not afraid of result, because they think no result. Then why should he afraid? And such wrong view also will produce rebirth, because it's kilesa. Wrong view is a defilement of the mind. Any defilement of mind can produce kilesa. Can produce rebirth, especially craving, wrong view, ignorance. All these are very strong defilement. Definitely will produce new rebirth. But for the third one, craving for non-becoming, they are surely to produce rebirth in lower realm. Because wrong view is very, wrong view leads the wrong action, right? Wrong view leads to wrong speech and so on. Therefore, it definitely will produce rebirth in lower realm of existence. Okay, so these are the origin of suffering. Craving is the origin of suffering. Craving for sensual pleasure, craving for becoming, and craving for non-becoming. Okay, next, we come to the third noble truth, the noble truth of the cessation of suffering. Buddha say, what is the noble truth of the cessation of suffering? Nirodha Satya. It is the remainderless fading and cessation, renunciation, relinquishment, release, and letting go of that very craving. So, as we understand, craving is the origin of suffering. So when craving come to existence, craving come to non-existent, or craving come to cessation, then it's the end of suffering, right? Therefore, the noble truth of the cessation of suffering, Nirodha Satya, is very easy to understand. Craving is the origin. So when we remove the craving, then we reach the end of suffering. This is the meaning. So we call it the fading away, completely fading and cessation of craving, or the renunciation of craving, or relinquishment of craving, or release and letting go of that very craving. That very craving, including the three types of craving: craving for becoming, craving for non-becoming, and craving for sensual pleasures. So if you can completely let go of these three types of craving, then you reach the noble truth of the cessation of suffering. This is very easy to understand. And when you completely let go of that very craving, then you achieve Dibana, right? You achieve Dibana. Therefore, Dibana, attainment of Dibana is also the normal truth of the cessation of suffering. So what is Dibana? In Sanskrit, we call Dibana is Nirvana. Pali, we call Dibana. Sanskrit, we call Dibana. Sanskrit is the written form of language. Pali is a spoken form of language. So the term Dibana is a combination of roots, Nir and Vana. Nir means to escape or depart. Vana is called desire. So to escape from desire or depart from desire, desire means craving also. Depart from Tanha, escape from Tanha. Then one reach Nirvana. So this is the meaning of Nirvana. So Nirvana is the escape, fading away, renunciation, cessation, and liberation of all type of desire and craving. Therefore, one should understand the cessation of suffering, the noble truth of the cessation of suffering, Nirodha Satya, is the escaping or cessation of that very craving And when you reach that, you also attain, at the same time, you attain Dibana. And Dibana itself has no Namarupa, no craving, nothing. Okay, so this is the cessation of the suffering. Then how can we reach that cessation of suffering? So Buddha tell you, okay, first tell you you are sick. Now I find out the cause for your sickness. Now, and Buddha say the sickness can be cured, which is Dibana, or letting go of that craving and reach Dibana, can be cured. However, you need to take my medicine. If you take my medicine, all the suffering, all the dukkha can disappear, can be healed, can come to stop. Therefore, Buddha finally, lastly, Buddha give the path. We call the normal truth of the way of practice leading to the cessation of suffering. This noble truth, the third noble truth, the noble truth of the way of practice leading to the cessation of suffering is also called the middle way. In the very beginning, we say that Buddha told us to not to indulge in two extremes, right? But walk the middle way. And Buddha also said the middle way is also noble eightfold path. Therefore, the middle way or noble eightfold path are the same, and they are the noble truth of the way of practice leading to the cessation of suffering. Okay, what are these noble eightfold paths? Let us go one more round in more detail. Number one is right view. Buddha say in the sutta, I think in the sutta of 117, Majjhima Nikaya, Buddha say right view come first. Majjhima Nikaya 117, Buddha say right view come first. So therefore, in the Noble Eightfold Path, right view is the leader. When you have the right view, you will have the right thought. You will have the right speech, right action, right livelihood, and you will have right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Therefore, right view is like sunrise. When sun is rising, the light dispel the ignorance of the world. Similarly, when you have the right view, this right view will dispel the ignorance in your heart. Then you can see things very clearly. Okay? Okay, let us go one by one, the meaning of the Noble Eightfold Path, the eight factors. Number one is called Samma Ditti, right view, Samma Ditti. In the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, Dikha Nikaya 22, the Buddha explained the four levels of right view as follows. Number one, knowing the truth of suffering. Now we come back to the Four Noble Truths, because the Four Noble Truths is the core teaching of the Buddha. As a Buddhist practitioner, you got to know the Four Noble Truths. Only then you can have right view. So right view means knowing the truth of suffering, knowing the truth of the origin of dukkha, knowing the truth of the cessation of dukkha, and knowing the truth of the way of practice leading to the cessation of dukkha. In short, right view is knowing the Four Noble Truths. So when people ask you, what is the right view? The first answer should be knowing the Four Noble Truths. However, right view also can divide into two: mundane right view and supramundane right view. According to Majjhima Nikaya 117, Buddha say, monks, what is right view? Right view, I say, is twofold. Number one, there is right view that is accompanied by defilements, siding with merit, ripening in the acquisitions of becoming. You may not be able to understand this sentence. Okay, let me give you an example. When you do Dana, let's say, when you do Dana, this is correct view. You understand Dana is wholesome deed that bring wholesome result. This is called Karma. You understand right view? Karma right view. Okay? But this right, when you do the karma, when you do the dana, generosity or offering food to monastic, it's siding with merit, right? You got a merit, so it's side with merit and ripening in the acquisitions. So when this dana, karma, good karma ripen, then you get new rebirth. Rebirth in Deva realm, rebirth in human realm. Therefore, Buddha say, ripening in the acquisitions or of becoming. This is called mundane right view. Similarly, when you keep precepts, when you keep precepts, it's also right view, right? Because you understand you keep precept can accumulate merit. So siding with merit. And when this keeping morality, when this good karma ripen, then you get new becoming. You get new becoming in a human world or next Deva world. Similarly, when you practice jhana, when you practice jhana, you also understand this is wholesome deed, right? Any wholesome deed will produce result. Got merit, that merit, when ripen, karma ripen, you produce new rebirth in Brahma world. So it's also ripening in the acquisition of becoming. This is called mundane right view. Why it's called in acquisition of becoming? Because it produces new rebirth again and again, but rebirth in a good plane of existence. Rebirth in a good plane of existence is also another meaning, prolong the cycle of rebirth, right? As long as you have rebirth, then the samsara is no end. This is what this mundane right view trying to say. So if you understand this world, this next world, when you do good, you get a result in the next world. This is also called mundane right view. And you also believe there is a spontaneous reborn beings. In Deva, they don't they come into existence do not through mother's womb. They are spontaneous rebirth. So if you have this understanding, it's also called right view. And you understand the 31 plane of existence, all sentient being in each existence is a result of their karma. Having this understanding is also called mundane right view. Okay?
Okay, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, today I think we have heard Saleh mention about the second noble truth and also about the third noble truth. The second noble truth is the origin of suffering, and the third noble truth is Nirodha. Suffering can be stopped, can be ceased, can end. And the fourth noble truth is the noble path, the path leading, the medicine to stop all this suffering. So I think now we will go into the breakout room, whereby a facilitator will be with you, and then you can discuss what we learned in the class today. So Brother Fu, can we send everyone to the breakout room? And you have 30 minutes. Please keep your discussion concise and be fruitful in your discussion. We have 30 minutes. Then after that, we come to the main hall again. That's where Saleh will then appear, and then we will then discuss with Saleh. So now, Brother Fu, we can.
Brother Max, I understood that Saleh is coming at 10:40, right?
Yes, yes.
So we have 45 minutes from now. So is it still 30 minutes or?
Yeah, we can extend the line a bit. Extend to 35 minutes. How about
Okay.
35 minutes?
Okay, so I will
I-
set 35 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. So enjoy our discussion. I hope everyone will be active in your discussion. Brother Fu, everything okay?
Yeah, but I'm not sure why there's one person here. I cannot find a way to move.
Oh, let me see if I can help.
I think the rest are okay.
Mm.
Looks like something is wrong with her. Hello.
So at what time they come back? Because if silent not in also now, right, we can just sembang a bit, you know.
Okay. So
There's
it's
no
what time they come back? I think exactly at 10:30.
10:30. Yeah,
Hmm.
10:30 means we got half an hour to just discuss. Any question?
Yeah,
Mm.
I think we have, yeah,
Yeah.
10:30. 29 more minutes. Now it's 10:01. Yeah, 10:30.
Okay. So I'm going to go into room 2 to have a look. Huh?
Okay.
All right. See you later.
Okay. By the way, brother,
Well, welcome back to the main hall. This is group 1, right? Group 1. I hope you guys had a good discussion. Yeah, I see, I went to every room and I see very good discussion, Most of you have poured out your own experience. I think that's the best, That when you are able to pour your experience, then you're able to share your experience with others. Whether it's not a good experience or whether it's a good experience. It is experience. This is where then the Dhamma comes in. The Dhamma comes in and guided by the teaching of the Buddha, then we can get out of all this. That's the Noble Eightfold Path. That is the medicine that the Buddha has given to us. So by walking the Noble Eightfold Path, then we are able to get out of this samsara world. Right? Okay, we have a few minutes, before Siley comes in. So I'm going to open the floor now to anyone who like to ask us, as an organizer, anything that you have in mind. You can ask about the Google Classroom, or you can ask about the material that we send to you. Let us know what are your comments, whether it's good or whether it's bad. Let us know. Right, come, please. I see Stephen, you're trying to unmute yourself. We still can't hear you, Stephen.
Sorry, I think, can you try again, Stephen?
Yeah, that's better now.
Okay. We can hear you, Stephen. Good morning.
No, good morning. We both me and I had an email saying that we did not do the quiz. We did the quiz straight away last week.
That day, yeah. Okay.
So I hope you got it, because I saved it and I forwarded it to you again. So
okay.
So I don't know why we got sent. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have 2 email accounts? Or?
Yeah, we got separate email account. Yes.
Perhaps. So the one that is registered, that one that we send a reminder to you. So you could have used another email to answer the quiz. No, same email.
Yeah, I've only got one. Both of us have only one email account each.
Yeah. Okay, it's all right.
Have a look at that. Yeah.
Yeah. So far, how do you feel about the quiz that we have given to you?
Yeah, good revision. A bit tricky, but we're very careful.
Yeah. Especially, I think question number 13. I get a lot of people complaining to me. Question number 13 is very tricky. People are not too happy the way we lay out the question. I think it was done on purpose to make sure that you're careful, with the things that you read.
I think it's very good because it makes you really think about it, and because you thought about it, it sticks better.
Yes. Yeah, and then when I saw the result, I was blown, because the result is astonishing. It's beautiful. I know most of you claim to be beginners, but I don't think so. You guys are really good. So the result has said for yourself. We have got many people who score straight A's. We have 15 questions and they got it all right. So sadhu to those who have scored 15. And today we're going to give also same the quiz, but today we're going to do a bit different. We're going to give you 18 questions, a little bit more. Hope this time you read the question carefully, and no hurry. You can do it later after a cup of coffee, come back again. So no hurry.
Thank you.
All right, who else would like to comment?
Brother Buck, can I ask something?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm you here. Regarding the Dhamma Cakka Pavattana Sutta, you say that it is what, awakening, and I saw the word unbinding. Can you please elaborate further on unbinding?
Unbinding means that you don't bind to be reborn again.
Oh, okay. Don't pray to be born again.
That means you have eradicated the craving, so you're unbinding. There's no more pulling, no more binding you to become again. So cutting off becoming. One of the 12 link is becoming. So that one cut it off. Then you don't get a rebirth anymore. That's what I mean by unbinding.
Thank you, Sadhu.
Yeah,
Sadhu.
welcome.
Sadhu.
Yeah, I hope my answer is correct, lah. But of course,
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
ask.
it's
Of
okay.
course, we can
Thank
ask
you.
Ale.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes,
Anyone?
yes, your answer is correct, Brother Bucks.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Some people say unconstructed, unbinding, unconditioned. I would say more or less. Yeah, there are 3 words for it. So they all carry
Unbinding,
the same.
unconditioned,
Unbinding,
Just
unconditioned, and unconstructed.
Oh,
Unconstructed means that there's no more nama rupa.
Okay.
So you
thank
don't
you,
construct into a human being or whatever being it is.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sadhu.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, who else has got any comment about the way we run this class? You happy with the way we run it? If you can, you can make comment, tell us how we can improve further. This is a short discussion among ourselves before Saile comes in. We expect, yeah.
Brother Bucks, how do we find out our own results?
Yes, you can click
View.
View. Yeah, there's a button called view. Then you see your own result lah. Then they also will tell you which one you go wrong and which is the correct answer for that particular question.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, Sister B, you have raised your hand.
Yeah, I must say that it's very well organized,
Thank you.
and excellent. I think it's a brilliant class.
Thank you.
I truly enjoy it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah.
Brother Bucks.
Yeah, Sister Pochi.
Brother Bucks, sorry, this is not related to our class now. You announced earlier just now about the moment to moment.
Yes, moment to moment.
And you said there's only 12 places left.
Yes, 12 slot left. Yeah, that's right.
But we only just know, and there's only 12. That means all of us can't get in.
Yeah, we have run this moment to moment many classes. We have done, I think, at least 4 or 5 classes in English and another maybe 10 classes in Chinese. Because Saleh have got 2 books, one in Chinese and one in Mandarin. So I'm going to share the link later on.
Yeah, but Brother Bucks, I mean, some of us just know it only.
Never mind. So once we have a waiting list, then when the waiting list is long, then we open another class again, Sister Pochi. So we just have to practice Kanti. You know what Kanti? You know what Kanti is?
Yeah. Can.
Yeah, Kanti
You
means
just register.
patient. Yeah.
But the box you say when you send us the link, we just register first.
You must register first. So our organizer will know your name and then you'll be contacted to get the instruction what to do next. There will be some instruction.
Okay. Yeah. Sadhu.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We used to have a lot of class like moment to moment in China, and we run I think more than 10 classes in China. And it was actually very popular because Sally used to go to China and she has a very big following there. But unfortunately, I think now we can't get into China now. So the Zoom has, online classes has stopped in China. So that's why we're only doing it in English now.
Brother Bucks.
Yes.
Is there any plan for a retreat up in Penang?
That's one.
I was going to ask that also.
Yeah, there's one retreat coming up this Hari Raya.
No, I mean a physical one, not on site.
I think we're going to do hybrid. The one in the. I have to ask Brother Fu. Brother Fu, you want to give some information about the coming retreat in the Hari Raya season?
Is it on site?
It's not on site.
Is it? Is it online?
Okay, I think we'll need to get back to you on this. I think the retreat is postponed already. The Hari Raya, right?
Maybe postponed. Oh, okay, okay.
The May one is postponed.
Okay.
Yes.
By the way, Sayale is in.
Oh, Sayale is in already. Okay. Let's do our Wandami to request that Sayale teach us the Dhamma. Okay, let's hold our palm. Kindly mute yourself. Everyone, please mute yourself. And let's pay our respect to Saleh. She's in the class now. And I'm going to invite Saleh teach us the Dhamma. So everyone just have to follow, right? Okasa. Please mute your mic. Please mute your mic. Let me be the only one. Yeah. Okasa Vandame Aya. Tutiyampi Okasa Vandame Aya. Tatiyampi Okasa Vandame Aya.
Suki Hontu, sisters and brothers in the Dhamma.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Welcome, Sally.
I am now in one of the clinic at Ampang because I have appointment at 11, so I afraid I cannot come up, so I come very early, and the dentist give me one room for this Zoom meeting.
Hope Sally is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Saleh. Even though you're busy in a clinic.
No, I'm in one of the dentist, of the dentist clinic.
Thank you, Saleh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have about 100 participants this morning, and we have gone through the video on the part 2 of the Cakka Pavattana Sutta, where you have discussed about the second noble truth, and you have also covered the third noble truth and a little bit of the fourth noble truth. And we have finished, and then everyone has gone to the breakout room, and there were many questions, and I saw a very fruitful discussion. People were pouring out their experience, how the Dhamma has affected them, and through the Dhamma, they can see their thoughts, their feelings, and things like that. So Saleh, I will be calling some of the people who have discussed to share, if you don't mind, Saleh. Okay, so can I call room number 1, which is led by Sister Margaret. Sister Margaret, do you like to share with us the question, and then you can call up your participant to give the answers.
Okay, can I make a request?
Yes, Saleh.
I think we should give opportunity to those who have not yet stand up and speak.
Yes.
So
yes,
then also, okay. So, and also, if there's the question unsolved in your meeting room, after sharing, you can post that question to me too. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. So we are calling those people who have not appeared in the first class. So like Sister Margaret, I think she hasn't appeared. Sister Margaret, can you please unmute yourself?
Good morning, Saleh. Suki Hontu. Yeah. For breakout room number 1, may I invite Brother Lam to share with us on question 1, our group discussion. Brother Lam, please.
What is the question number 1? Can you remember?
Okay, sure. In your everyday life, which of the 6 sense bases that you most crave for its pleasantness? So Brother Lam will share our group's discussion.
Okay, thank you. There are a few of us who got to share. We start with me first. For me, it's more in terms of the body senses on feeling of touching and all that. So because for me, I'm a feeling type of person. So whenever I touch somebody, or could be loved ones or friends and all that, I have these very good, happy feelings. So I'm not sure whether that's craving or not. So that is for me. And another brother shared that thinking of nice things, satisfying thoughts, there's also craving for that. But I guess that's the one that's more of a parent was the craving for food, the taste senses. They love to taste nice food, like to go to nice place to eat nice food, and they don't have the kind of taste and all that, you feel unhappy. So that was the taste senses. Another one shared was not getting what one expect, but you ready to taste. Yeah, taste again. So yeah, they say they don't feel happy that they didn't get what they want. But then this person actually, I didn't get the name, they still able to release that clinging to this craving. and just let it go and all that. So she practice, or this person practice the way of letting go these cravings. Yeah? And there's a question posed, which is a bit hard to understand, the craving for nirvana. So I guess this person may want to pose that question later on. This is Margaret also suggested that we pose the question later on to the group and see what can come up with answers and all that. So I'm not sure whether Sister Margaret, you have a question you can pose on my behalf. I'm not sure what to ask for this person.
Thank you, Brother Lam, for sharing. Yeah. So shall we leave the questions to later?
I think we can do it now. Sister Margaret, the unresolved question, because Sile is here.
Sure.
I think we should proceed to ask Sile.
Yeah. May I invite Sister B to share your question over in our main room?
Sister B, please unmute yourself and proceed with your question. Sister B?
Okay, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Okay, we can hear you now. Proceed, please.
Okay, my question is, because since we are talking about the six sense base, so my question, I'm just thinking aloud, and then I hope that, somebody can share with me the answer. So I'm thinking that if desire is the root cause of suffering, which we all know, so isn't it that Nibbana, the goal of Buddhism, is a desire? Because we crave for Nibbana. So since desire is the root cause of suffering, so since we crave for Nibbana, so isn't that the goal of Buddhism a desire? So that's my questions.
I think a very good question. Okay, before I answer, anybody of you want to try first, so that I can check. I can check with you. Any of you in the group, in not this group, in a big group, would like to try to answer this? Okay, so it's a very good opportunity, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, for you to share your thoughts. If we are desire to enter Dibana, so isn't it a desire as well? So can someone share your thoughts on this? Anyone? Okay, now we have got a Sister Ming Hui. Please unmute yourself, Sister Ming Hui. We can't hear you. Unmute, yeah. Kindly unmute yourself. Unmute and also video, show video, please. She has I can see her. There's a video. Her name is Ming Hui. Yeah. She's unable to unmute herself.
Yeah, okay. Now I can. I think
yes,
somebody has enabled the unmuting.
Yes.
Hello, Sally and brothers and sisters. So this is just me trying to answer. I'm not sure if
Are you Malaysia?
Right.
Malaysian or?
I was. Now I am in Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think this is why in the Second Noble Truth, the Buddha has elaborated on the craving with the three buckets, which is craving for sensual pleasure, craving for becoming, and craving for non-becoming. Because if we just take the word in its very conventional definition, the English definition, if you like, right, then it's easy for us to, I think, have that misunderstanding that wanting to get out of samsara is a craving. But if we try and understand it from how the Buddha explained, then the craving is with respect to firstly sensual pleasure, which is the six sense bases and the six sense objects, right? And we want to be free from that craving. And then the second one, which is craving for becoming, okay, that is the craving for us to continue on having life. right? And then the third one is quite the opposite, which is once we are done with this life. And if we were free from these cravings, then the suffering naturally ends. So actually, we don't need to crave for Nibbana per se, but the path really is to work our way out of the cravings, actually. I mean, that's how I interpret it, and I hope Sala you can correct.
Okay, okay. I am very impressed by your answer. Very good. You grasp the meaning of there are three types of craving that leads to suffering. You grasp it very precisely. Yes. So good. I just want to praise you. Okay, so craving, there's no craving for Dibana. Desire, craving and desire is different words in Pali. Craving means Tanha. Desire means Chanda. So Chanda can be wholesome and can be unwholesome. So desire for Dibana is called wholesome desire. That leads you to practice harder and harder, right? And as just now, what's your name? What?
Ming Hui.
Ming Hui. As Ming Hui said that once you work your path to eradicate these three types of craving, you reach the Dibana. So you don't have to crave for Dibana, but you have to put enough effort so that you can eradicate your craving for sensual pleasures and becoming and non-becoming. Then you reach the Dibana. Okay? So good answer.
Thank you, Sally.
Okay. So for the first group, I just want to say something. Whenever you have good feeling, then good feeling usually whether it's a good feeling, whether it comes from the taste, or comes from the touch, or comes from the eyes, and so on. So long you do not aware of that pleasant feeling, automatically this pleasant feeling will lead to craving. Therefore, from your discussion, I feel that you need to do one more step. That is, be mindful of your pleasant feeling. Be mindful of your pleasant feeling means that you should keep your pleasant feeling as meditation subject and look at it, accept it, face to face with it, and see what happened to that pleasant feeling. Okay? If you don't apply mindfulness to that pleasant feeling, according to dependent origination, pleasant feeling leads to craving. Then you become the slave of your craving, which is far away from reaching the Dibana. So please add one more, apply one more things, that is mindfulness. And if possible, if you are familiar with my teaching, you also have to apply wise attention. So when feeling arises, you're mindful of it, look at it, and don't react to it with craving. So when you be mindful, keep your attention on that feeling for, let's say, for 30 seconds, 40 seconds, then if that feeling remain there, you can apply wise attention, yoniso manasikara, and mentally note that feeling is not myself. Pleasant feeling is not myself. Pleasant feeling is not myself, again and again. So that pleasant feeling will not develop into craving. This is one way. A second way, you can also apply your wise attention by noting that pleasant feeling is impermanent. In this way, you can stop pleasant feeling to develop into craving. Okay, so I hope you all can add this mindfulness and wise attention into your daily life practice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sally.
Thank you, Sally. So
Thank you.
The keyword is yoniso manasikara, wise attention. Thank you, Sally. So I think we have to call the next breakout room number 4. which is led by Brother Anthony. So if Brother Anthony is here, can you please unmute yourself?
Okay, thank you, Brother Bucks. Yeah, for the third question, we discussed in what way do sentient beings cling to 5 aggregates? Okay, maybe Sister Yuli Chuan, could you share our discussion before? What we have discussed before? Sister Yuli Chuan.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
This one say what? In what way sentient beings?
Yeah, cling to 5 aggregates.
See, 5 aggregates, huh? In what way? Because of the Tanha, the craving, the conceit, and the craving, conceit, and the third one is what? 5 aggregates, craving, conceit, and the permanent self. The permanent self, is it?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So we cling to the 5 aggregate in 3 ways. The first way is by way of tanha, craving, cling to 5 aggregate as mine, belong to me. That's my property, my body, my feelings, yeah. And then by the way of mana, yeah, conceit as I superior than you, I stronger than you. My wisdom, yeah, my wisdom is better than you, sharper than you, yeah. And then by way of permanent self or identity view. Okay, this is the third question that we discussed before. Maybe Sayale, could you give for your idea about this? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think very good. I think Anthony has presented very precise answer. Exactly. So, for example, we cling, we crave for the feeling as my feeling, my pleasant feeling, right? And we also feel that, oh, my feeling is my, let's say, when in a meditation retreat, you have achieved good concentration, and you feel that, oh, my concentration is stronger than you, better than you. All these are conceit, mana, and the view that I, Atta, the permanent self, has experienced this pleasant feeling and so on. I think Anthony has presented well this discussion. Sadhu.
Thank you, Sayale and Modana.
Okay, so now can I call room number 5, which is led by Brother Call by Ken. Brother Call.
Yeah, yes, thank you, Brother Bucks. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Good morning, Sayale. All right. In our group, I didn't actually sort of select anyone to share. So I'm not sure. Were we supposed to select someone to share? I'm not so sure. But anyway, in our group, we really had a lot of wonderful insights. So I was thinking the discussion was really fruitful for me, at least. So I appreciated everyone sharing. So maybe I'll just let my teammates. Any one of you want to say something or share something, you can raise your hand. I'll just let anyone from my team share.
Yeah, you should tell us your question of discussion first.
We covered quite a few questions. We covered maybe about 3 to 4 questions, to be honest. Okay, so I select someone now. Okay, does anyone want to share? And then you can also share the question you want to answer. If you want to raise your hand. If not, I'll select someone. Okay, I'll select someone. I really like 2 sharings, so I'll just mention the 2 sharing. I really like the sharing by Brother Vincent about views, and I also like the sharing by Sister Yok Mei Wong about clinging to views also. So let me just select Sister Yok Mei Wong first. Sister Yok Mei Wong, are you here? If you would like to share your answer, I can. Can you raise your hand? Then I'll share the. Oh yes, she's here. Okay, so I'll share the question. Yeah, I'll share the question. Then Sister Yok Mei Wong can share the answer. All right. Okay, good. Let me share the question first. So the question is the 5th question. 5th question. Yeah. Has anyone had any personal experience in lessening or overcoming their suffering by subduing their own craving? Has anyone had any personal experience in lessening or overcoming their suffering by subduing their own craving? The fifth question. Okay, sister, go ahead. Yes. Sister, you are muted. Someone needs to. Okay, yes.
She can unmute herself.
Okay. Good morning, Sayale. Good morning, brothers and sisters.
Are you from Malaysia?
Yes, Sayale,
Okay.
KL. Okay. I have to speak quickly because I just realized my battery is full. But basically, just to sum up, I was sharing that when I started this journey, it was very wonderful because I had a lot of understanding, and the understanding gave rise to a lot of realizations. So that spurred me to explore further into the teachings of the Buddha, and then I started chasing for knowledge, Dhamma talks, teachers, from one teacher to another teacher, ajahns to rinpoches to whatever you name it, as long as it's relating to Dhamma. So then that caused a lot of, I didn't realize the craving then. It was, I thought, oh, good knowledge, must go for it. So as I go along then, as I gather more knowledge, I began to then impose this knowledge to people around me, my family members, my friends, my colleagues, and even bosses sometimes, thinking that what I do, what I say is the right way. And then then I realized, oh, suffering begins. How? Because when I impose my views, sometimes people don't listen to me. Sometimes they have their own views, which I am not willing to listen. So that clinging on to my own views, that I'm always right, or it created a lot of conceit there. And then I realized, and that gave rise to a lot of suffering. So as I go along with more understanding about mindfulness, then I begin to take a step back and ask myself, how come I am doing the right thing? I am understanding more Dhamma. Why am I still suffering? And I begin to pause and reflect. That mindfulness helped me to step back and then to reflect where have I gone wrong. And then with all these Dhamma studies, then I began to realize, oh, there is all these views which I hold on, and that clinging itself to these views at mind level, it created a lot of suffering for me. By then pausing with that conscious effort to be mindful about it, I paused, and that helped to lessen some of my sufferings, as in I don't get too angry anymore when people don't listen to me, or if they have their right views. And I also become more gentle to myself, that I don't beat myself up. How come, that self-sabotaging and self-beating, with that mindfulness, I also begin to lessen that part of it, more metta maybe. So that's my journey so far. Thank you, Siley. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Very good. I think your sharing is very good. I think most of the Buddhists, experience this, very enthusiastic to share your knowledge with others, and we never consider the other party's background. Are they ready or not? This is the reason why I never speak Dhamma to my family members, because I feel that they do not work, they are not ready yet. So I have to be more equanimous.
Yeah.
That's why Buddha don't simply talk Dhamma to anyone. Only when Buddha see, oh, this person is ready, then he talk. I think we also have to learn from Buddha, be more equanimous rather than enthusiastic. Very good.
Thank you. So actually, we cannot change the world. We cannot change the entire world. Okay, so I think we have come to the end of today's class. So thank you, Saleh. Even though you are very busy, you find a clinic, a room to be with us. So we really appreciate that. And also the Dhamma you expound. I thought that was very profound. So we'll do the sharing of dedicates.
Wait, Bucks. I thought only three groups. Is it? Three groups
we have 5 groups. Do you want to hear from the other 2 groups? If you have time.
Yeah, I can because the dentist not calling me yet, so I'm waiting
Okay.
for my dentist to call me.
Okay, then I will call group number 2, which is led by Brother Chi. Brother Chi, can you please come share with us the discussion in your room? Brother Chi?
Yeah, sure, Brother Bucks. I think
Yeah.
I think we can present on question number 4, which is not presented yet.
Yeah.
May I invite Sister Ming Hui? Question number 4 is about kindly relate how everyday suffering is caused by own sufferings, either by own experience or as observed, and name which way of craving it belongs to. Example, angry at children due to children not behaving as expected by parents, craving by way of Tanha, my children craving by way of conceit, I know better than you. Sister Ming,
Yeah, Brother Chi, I'm just very mindful of holding the mic because I spoke a lot just now. And since Sister Gwen actually gave us 2 really beautiful examples, maybe if Sister Gwen doesn't mind, then let everyone hear from her directly. I think it'll be more impactful.
Yeah, sure. I thought of that as well. Yeah.
I think she's very humble, giving chance to others. Good quality.
Sister Wen Chin, you want to unmute yourself? Yeah, just now Sister Wen Chin shared with us a few very beautiful experience in her daily life. Can you unmute yourself, Sister Wen Chin? I think she has problem. Oh, okay, now.
Yeah, she's in. Yeah. Go ahead.
I can't remember.
Yeah, Sister Gwen.
Okay, I give it a try.
Yeah.
Could I do the experience first? Yeah, as I was sharing, I used to buy kueh from a stall on the way to my temple every Sunday. And there was one Sunday when I went, I was lining up, and then suddenly it's my turn. And the seller turned around and shouted at me and said, "Wait for your turn, just wait. Don't rush me." I was very shocked because I didn't rush her. Anyway, I bought my kueh, and as I was walking and eating back to the temple, I was I noticed unpleasant feelings coming up. I could not stop the feelings because at that time I didn't really learn about meditation. I was just listening to Dhamma. So that night, when I was going to bed, I normally would say, what happened today and reflect. And this thing came up to me, and I was very unhappy. So I wonder what happened. And suddenly, I recalled that somebody pushed me, and I was trying to get myself up. I twisted my face. I think it was quite unpleasant. And she must have seen that face or that expression. And that was the result why she was shouting at me. So I said, wait a minute. Okay. So the next day when I was going to work, I dropped by to have a look at the lady. And I said, "I'm very sorry. I must have given you a very wrong impression, and it's all my fault." And then she was just hugging me, and she said, "Well, everything is okay now." And she said, yeah, I saw your expression and I was very angry with you, and that was why I shouted at you. So I apologized many times, and I bought my kueh, but this time she gave me 2 extra pieces. So from then on, I always have extra pieces. So my learning from the Dhamma is that I reacted to her expression. My senses took over how I felt. And this is a habitual problem because I never stopped to think. So years later, when I was learning meditation, this incident kept coming up, and I realized where the problem is. Upadana. I have actually personalized that she has some grudge against me, and that's why I reacted equally as bad. Okay.
That's a beautiful sharing, Sister Gwen.
Sadhu. The other one is on lining up, because we're talking about everyday experiences. I think no matter where we go, at the clinic, at the supermarket, or on the road, we have to line up to a certain extent. It's something about discipline. and we expect other people to line up. So if somebody comes in front of us, or somebody comes and slip through us, or asks us to buy a ticket or whatever, I get very upset. To me, it's like discipline. I line up, so must you. I will not give way. But after learning about the Dhamma, suddenly I realized that it's not such a big deal. Just buy her a ticket. What's wrong? She must have reasons why she's not lining up properly. She has some elderly people she left somewhere, or whatever reasons, but it's not important to me. The important thing is now, do I want to help her or do I not want to help her, to let her come into the line? So of course, I let her come into the line, and it caused a lot of problems because the people at the back of me would be screaming. They'll be saying it's unfair. They'll be saying that I'm crazy, you know. So what I do is that I would just, if they make so much noise, then I say, oh, I'm so sorry. Then I just go to the back of the line. And that solved the problem. So where is the suffering if we can give in to that? That's what I begin to think about. Yeah, that's about it, I guess. So again, it's how we see the situation, the way that we habitually react to the situation. If we pause a little while and think about it, it's not such a big deal in most of the occasions. Okay, Sadhu.
Thank you, Sister Gwen. You're such another humble lady. Sayale?
Yes.
Yeah, you want to add on to the...
one more. I think we have better give everybody chance, like every group.
Yeah, okay. So I'd like to call Sister Ratana Kumari from room number 3. Yeah, Sister Ratana.
Wandami Sayale. Sukihontu to everyone. My group will present, I think, the question number 6 that has not been discussed yet. The question is, do you agree to restrain your senses in order to overcome cravings? Or should one be faced with the object of craving and then challenge it? Kindly elaborate. For example, not wanting to see images of food, so that will not be triggered craving for it, or will not trigger craving for the food. I would like to invite our presenter, Sister Yvonne, so kindly would like to present us. Sister Yvonne from Metta Lodge, Malaysia. Sister Yvonne? Oh, Johor.
Bandami Saleh, Bandami Sister Ratana. Okay, since today's question, we are actually addressing about sentient beings. What ways do sentient beings cling to the 5 aggregates? Coming back to that. So before I come up to question 6, I'd like to sum up that if we look at whatever, even if we address question 6, it always comes back to the clinging to our 5 aggregates. And it talks about the view of view that something belongs to me, material things, you know, that encapsulates the sensual pleasures, becoming and the non-becoming. And, you know, here we are talking about the attachments in our group, as we shared. You know, there have been attachment to the children, to property, to money, to the body, and the feelings. And one of our members shared that they talk about my anger, my pain, my jealousy. Now, end of the day, we realize that all these leads to dukkha. And it's a fact that the dukkha from my pain, my anger will all end up with guilt end of the day, right? Because we realize we have the natural wisdom, you know, that perpetuates to more dukkha. So actually dukkha begets more dukkha, right? And also then we talk about mana, which is the conceit, the greed to who I am. So some of us will be thinking, you know, I'm in a job, you know, I have this self-identity, I'm cleverer than you. It's always me versus others. And this one will bring on comparison, you know, the conflicts, the jealousy, hatred, aversion about me against the other. So we're talking about separation of people, me against the other, and not the greater love that we're talking about, that we are actually all one self. All of us are actually basically the same. We all have the same universal values. Then of course, talk about ditthi, the permanent self, right? So this is all the self-perception. And this one comes to the point of the becoming, not wanting to die, strongly attached to the craving, yeah, and afraid of death. And I'd like to state one of the examples of one of the sisters who's a cancer survivor, right? She was very fearful. And then thankfully, due to the Dhamma understanding, she knew that this is part and parcel of our existence, of aging, sickness, and death, and why she needs to contemplate on the 5 aggregates and the clinging. So when we come back to the final question that says, do we agree to restrain our senses in order to overcome cravings? And should one be faced with the object and to challenge it? So here we take it that, restraining means to try to stop it to a certain degree forcefully. So one of our members said, for beginners, we need to restrain ourselves to overcome craving. But when the wisdom comes with the practice, we face the object through mind training. So from my personal experience, mindfulness is the way to go. Mindfulness and not to restrain. Because through mindfulness, the awareness, we learn to observe and we accept it as nature, that all these taking place is not to me, not for me, and not against me. So it is the nature of things unfolding. It's all due to causes and conditions. So if we understand this, then we know that this is all impermanent and it's all mental formation. So through mindfulness that we learn through this journey, through vipassana, insight meditation, we understand that, we cannot hold on to all this because, the obstacles, I always come back to the analogy, the obstacles along the path of our journey in life, and also in some of our spiritual path, we are all a spiritual path, are like walking on a path with a lot of rocks. So if you're going to pick up the rocks and have these rocks as a burden on our shoulder, we become heavier and heavier with every step we take along the path. So through mindfulness and through understanding the Dhamma, we need to know to throw the rocks over our shoulder, because the next day we're going to pick up more rocks. So how heavy can we become? So if we do not go on this spiritual journey and be mindful of all these pitfalls of our mental formations that's causing so much suffering, and not let go of these rocks, we will never be able to finish the journey. So every day we walk, we must take that rock, we pick up the rock, that's part of life, throw it over our shoulder, we pick up another rock another day until we come to the end. So this is what my sharing is. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
I feel that I was surprised to see we have many good speakers in Malaysia. You can speak very well, very, very well. Okay, I want to add in some of the point to your discussion. If you can refer to Majjhima Nikaya, number Sutta number 2, Sabbasava Sutta. In this sutta, Buddha mentioned 7 ways to overcome the arising asava or defilements or pains. So the first way, restraint is also one of the way. Okay, because sometimes people don't have mindfulness, so then they can practice restraint. Then they can practice avoiding. Certain things they say, bad friend, we avoid them, then finished. So some defilement need to be overcome by restraint. Some need to be overcome by avoidance. Some need to overcome by wise attention. Some need to be overcome by mindfulness. And there are 7 ways. Please go to Majjhima Nikaya number 2 to get all these 7 ways so that you are prepared for all the arising of defilements. Okay? That much I want to say. Okay.
Thank you, Sally. For information, Sister Yvonne, one of our facilitator for the 9 attribute of the Buddha Dhamma study.
Very good.
Yeah, very she did very well. She even sent me.
I feel that this English class is quite quite advanced. I'm very happy to hear all your presentation and all the conclusion from the discussion. Well done. Sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Sally.
And Bucks, maybe next Saturday, I think this regards of time, we have to give all group to take part, rather than neglect our 1 or 2 group, which I feel is very not so comfortable.
And then in that case, Sister Saleh has to come in at 10:30, 10 minutes early.
Because you asked me to come at 10:40. In fact, I'm here 10:25 already.
Okay. And so next class, because some of the video are long, some video are short.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I see. I thought I want to come. If I come in earlier, then it should be all right. Okay. I come 10:30 next Saturday.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we have to close today's session, and we would like to invite Saleh to share the merits of dedication. So there we go. Okay. So Saleh will kindly do the dedication of merits on our behalf.
Okay, please hold your palm, everybody. You have done a good job, and we wish to transfer merit to all our protective deva and make aspiration. Okay, ita wata chammehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe dewa sabbe bhutta sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya. Now making aspiration. Idang me punyam nipanasa pacayo hotu mama punya bagang sabasatanang bhajemi te sabe me samang punya bagang labantu sadhu sadhu sadhu. May all of you be well and happy. I'd like to mention about the May retreat. Now, the May retreat already closed. It is a Mandarin retreat requested by a by a certain group of people. Maybe next time we will open for for English speaking group. Thank you so much. I have to. My dentist is waiting for me already. I see you next week.
Thank you.
Sadhu.
Sadhu. Thank you. Bye. Take care. Okay. So I think we have passed the time very far away. So I think today our class was very beautiful. So I'd like to thank everybody for attending today's class, and I will be setting up a quiz and also some material. And we see you again same time next week for class number 3. Okay. Thank you everyone.
Thank you. Sadhu.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Sadhu.
Thank you everyone. Sadhu.
Thank you, everyone. Sadhu.